If I see him, I'm gonna hear him.
We'll just sit on here and watch him.
Mindless behaviors. Mindless behaviors. Mindless behaviors. We keeping it lit, while talking our shit. You know we gon' pop it, giving them drip. Exposing these tips. This is more than just guys cooking for a sip. We don't plead the fifth. We got plenty of topics. Grab some wine and come watch this. We gon' discuss all these options. Mindless behaviors at the table with the flavors. Podcast going major. Grab a chair, even haters. Take a friend, touch a neighbor. Share it and tell them we live. We giving them positive vibes. This is what happened when Pretty collide. So sit back while we spill the tea. Mindless behaviors with First Lady and E. So sit back while we spill the tea. Mindless behaviors with First Lady and E.
Turn it on. Hey y'all.
Mindless behaviors. Mindless behaviors. Mindless behaviors. Mindless behaviors. We keeping it lit, while talking our shit. You know we gon' pop it, giving them drip. Exposing these tips. This is more than just guys cooking for a sip. We don't plead the fifth. We got plenty of topics. Grab some wine and come watch this. We gon' discuss all these options. Mindless behaviors at the table with the flavors. Podcast going major. Grab a chair, even haters. Take a friend, touch a neighbor. Share it and tell them we live. We giving them positive vibes. This is what happened when Pretty collide. So sit back while we spill the tea. Mindless behaviors with First Lady and E. So sit back while we spill the tea. Mindless behaviors with First Lady and E.
Hey listeners, subscribers, hopefully, friends, family, those who chose to come check us out today. We appreciate y'all.
Hey, Jessica.
Hey, we're gonna play this intro song one more time.
Mindless behaviors. Mindless behaviors. Mindless behaviors. We keeping it lit, while talking our shit. You know we gon' pop it, giving them drip. Exposing these tips. This is more than just guys cooking for a sip. We don't plead the fifth. We got plenty of topics. Grab some wine and come watch this. We gon' discuss all these options. Mindless behaviors at the table with the flavors. Podcast going major. Grab a chair, even haters. Take a friend, touch a neighbor. Share it and tell them we live. We giving them positive vibes. This is what happened when Pretty collide. So sit back while we spill the tea. Mindless behaviors with First Lady and E. So sit back while we spill the tea. Mindless behaviors with First Lady and E.
Hey everybody, welcome to today's session. Today's session is basically on the topic of mental health in the LGBTQ. I don't know the rest of the letters.
ABCDFG.
Community. Community.
That's why I'm just leaving it LGBT.
Yeah, so we kind of want to touch on that topic today. I know we always have a lot of fun and be cracking jokes and shit, but today we want to get down to the nitty gritty and have a conversation about something that's really meaningful in our community that we really don't speak about. We kind of keep it on the hush. And we have our really good friend. Ever and ever a day. But we have Tootie to just a baby pup. We have her here today to assist us with this conversation and this topic. She has some things that she wanted to share on the platform and get some things clear, to give some clarities and, you know, this, that, and the third. So with all ado,
Here I am.
introduce yourself. Toot toot.
Yeah, I'm Tootie, Cortica, Q, whatever you want to call
Okay,
me.
Cortica.
Many of you know me as Tootie. So, yeah, I like to speak about the mental health topic in the LGBTQ community. I think it's a stigma. I think a lot of people think it's something wrong with not being okay, mainly because of what society thinks. And if you do your research, you'll see how society can actually cause a lot of stress, a lot of suicides, due to mental health situations.
Mm-hmm.
So I just kind of want to touch up on that a little bit to let everybody know that it's okay not to be okay. It's okay to reach out to someone if you're feeling some type of way. And stop searching for the validation on social media. I see a lot of that going on. For example, if you see someone post something, instead of commenting, get in their inbox. It's you can save a life, even if it's 1 out of 5. Just by asking a simple question: "Are you okay? I know someone who can help." Because I see a lot of posts. People say they having a rough day. I don't even see people say that they don't want to be here. So I just feel my duty is to inbox that person, even if that's somebody that I don't know personally. I'm still gonna inbox them and have that conversation with them. They may have just needed someone to talk to at that time, but like I said, there's a lot of validation. So sometimes, and that's a cry for help. So I understand that as well. But at the same time, that same cry for help could also be a phone call to a primary doctor, so you can get a referral to a mental health specialist. Or if you have friends or family that are in that field, start to ask questions. It's okay. Nobody is gonna frown upon you or look at you different. The people that you are reaching out to on social media, those are some of the most judgmental people who, simply
Laugh at you.
they laugh
Make
at
fun
you.
of you.
Just know when people say they're praying for you, sometimes they're not, and I'm just gonna be honest about
Or they
that.
could be praying for your
Downfall as well. So get in the habit of taking care of yourself. Take some time away from social media. Like I said, ask family and friends questions, because it's people that know people. I know people. I know a lot of people. I have family members in that field, have close friends in that field. I'm in that field, on the operation side. So I know what to do. I know how to help. So if you feel that you're having that type of issue, I don't mind anybody inboxing me with, for a referral.
And then I think, some people, when people do post stuff, about, something like that, some people are scared to post things like that because I'm tired people, they're looking for attention. They're doing it. How could they be sitting there on live crying? Like, you just never know what a person go through, you know what I'm saying? But don't deprive yourself from getting help just because of those naysayers. Understand what I'm saying? If you really,
the potential negativity that you can
right, because you can look at it. What if they don't actually trust the people they're around to talk to them? Maybe they're looking for another resource. You know what I'm saying? That's why they go on social media. They have more friends, friends, even if they don't know them on social media, right? So it's to the point where, okay, I got this person. They probably don't have no family. They probably don't have no parents. You never know what's going on because I don't talk about everything that I go through. You know what I'm saying? And like she said, like she said, reach out to her. When I went through that little 2 day spat thing, you know what I'm saying? She reached out to me. She called me. She was like, forget that. She called me, you know what I'm saying? And I actually was doing a little better than what I was because had she called me that day, I wouldn't answer. But at the end of the day, I do have my.
You would have answered. I would have kept calling.
Oh God. I do have my closest people that I really do deal with. It's only a selected few, and I can count on one hand who knows, certain things. But yeah, I don't reach out to people for help, and that's the reason why. Because I've had to, like things that happen to the point, like when I say some things that happened, guess what? It was turned against me with that, you know what I'm saying? And so and I'm not saying I don't trust my friends. I just freeze up and be like, I'll deal with it myself. And that's another thing. Quit always thinking that you can deal with things yourself, because sometimes you can't, depending on the severity of it.
Yeah,
correct. And everything. And I deal with like I tell Tootie, I deal with a lot, and she's continues to stay positive. My sister continues to stay positive, and a couple of other my friends. But even some of my friends that I do deal with, they still don't know. You know what I'm saying? Because I just choose to keep it at a minimum. If somebody else was to come, oh, girl, I know who I told. I don't have to break it down. Oh, okay, I don't have to do that, and everything. But never be afraid to, talk about it. And like I said, people feel like sometimes you need to hit the reset button, basically.
Right.
You don't have to always be on social media. Me personally, and I'm just saying this, and my cousin, she has, she got her own life, but I'm like, if I could, deactivate my page, because I don't deactivate my page and was gone for almost a whole year before. I could do that, but because I'm trying to do my business and all that or whatever, I would actually need a person that could be consistent with that. And I just don't be on there. You know what I'm saying? Because I guarantee you, when I wasn't on social media, actually, it was very soothing. I don't have to see nothing negative. It was not towards me, but just see anything
Right, that
negative.
can be draining.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? And regardless even if they're not around you, you can be reading something negative and it still can transfer to you mentally. Like, don't nobody have time for that.
True.
So that's just my take on that.
Let me ask a question.
Yeah.
Have either one of you had a friend or loved one that possibly like lost their lives or anything due to mental health issues, or crying out for help and not actually being able to receive it, so they just gave up, or and this goes for y'all too? Has anybody out there ever lost somebody that they cared about, or one of their friends, or something like that due to a mental health issue where you saw signs and you just didn't pick up on them like right then and there, or
Well, in my case, it was my uncle Tony. He was the one, what do you call it, like the what you call it, outcast of the family. Is it what you
Black
call it?
sheep.
Yeah, the black sheep. Yeah, he was the one black sheep when when my mom was growing up and everything, and so he did a lot, and everything. Like, he was a daredevil. Like, okay, him growing up, and they used to play Russian roulette. You remember, running across the street when big diesel trucks coming, basically playing with his life, and he ended up getting drugged a mile or so. No, like a few blocks by the head with diesel, by the diesel truck. And he was in the hospital for like over a year, but I think that kind of messed with him. It got to the point where he was in school. These are stories that my mom told me. He was in school and somebody was like, "I'll shove this pencil in your ear." And he was like, "Do it." And let him do it, and everything. And then it was just a lot. So as we got older, and he's grown and have kids or whatever, we just barely ever seen him. He stayed away. One time, my mom still kind of blame herself, but one time he came to my mom's house, and just out the blue, he just probably see standing up there in hot heels, and it was like 2 something in the morning, and my mom was like, "What you doing here? This and that and this. Tony, go on and go where you need to be going." Didn't realize he was coming over there for help or whatever, and she pushed him away because she didn't want him there. And like a day later, he was on that bridge, the freeway. What is it at? The little, what's that, giraffe, whatever that is right there.
Mm-hmm.
He was on the bridge right there, and just so happened the guy that my mom used to date, Officer Brian, I think everybody know him. Anyway, he was called there, and him and his colleagues or whatever, and he realized who it was, and he was trying to talk him off the ledge or whatever, and yeah, my mom was like, "Don't nobody love him. He don't have family," and it really messed with my mom. You know what I'm saying? Because he really was going through mental health and stuff, and I think Brian told my mom, he reached out to him. He was talking to him, and he was reached out to him. And as soon as I think he slipped. And so when he fell, hit a car, fell on the car, and whatever, closed casket. When he went to my mom's house and told her mental illness started happening, but we grow up as, oh, that's for white people. Right. We don't go get help, this and that. And I said, me and Erica talked about that before. If I knew the things that I know now, I would have been seeking help. You know what I'm saying? But it's just crazy because we're blocked from seeking help like that, or we got problems. Guess what we do?
Or we're made to believe that it's inappropriate for our culture.
Right. You know what I'm saying? Or if you got to go in the room, this and that. You know what I'm saying? We always got to go in our room if we want to discuss what's going on with us, or we talking back. That's not about us talking back. We're just trying to tell you what we're going through. So when it gets to that point, guess what we don't do? We don't talk to you, to our parents. And we grew up like this. So guess what? We don't break that cycle. We do that with our kids. Because that's how we raise. So that's what we think is cool. Exactly. So
definitely in relationships,
right,
and entanglements.
I
almost got choked.
I already told
I'm just saying,
you're not jumping off course.
You're
not jumping off course.
Okay, but in ships,
right?
In ships, all kinds of ships.
So,
okay, let's stay with the ships.
Yeah, let's talk about the ships.
Let's talk about the ships. Okay.
Let's talk about the ships because you could be with the person that's going through mental illness,
and not even know it.
Right? And then you just be like, okay, this motherfucker is crazy, but you don't tap into their childhood because they don't want to just tell you everything. But then later on, you find out like, oh wow, this is why this happened, and everything. But in the process, in the time, in that manner, it's like y'all get into it. You're not trying to, and everything. Then nobody love me. Oh my God.
But guess what though? What do you do when that starts to affect your mental health?
Right.
So this is
too crazy, motherfucker.
Well, that could be perceived as well, but
I mean, I'm y'all trust me, I'm not joking about the situation, but the realistic thought of it is when you start to attain so much of your partner's mental health, it makes you become mentally health. I mean, it affects your mental health.
Emotional stress.
Exactly.
Emotional stress leads to anxiety, panic attacks. When the argument starts or the disagreements, or if you're just not there, if you're just not all the way there mentally to be there for someone that's having that issue as well.
The thing with that is like in one of my relationships, the person was going through, a lot. And talking about the childhood and everything, and instantly my motherly instinct turned on. You get what I'm saying? But I'm up here thinking, and that's just me, thinking I could save that person. I wouldn't even say it.
Exactly.
You get what I'm saying? But I didn't realize that. You know what I'm saying? So I'm trying to save that person, help that person find herself, and guess what? I lost myself trying to help that person find herself, and then I started dealing with verbal abuse from this person. It just became
a thing,
crazy, and then it started messing with me mentally. I used to cry every day about it, you know what I'm saying, and everything, and didn't realize that it's a mental thing. You know what I'm saying? I'm just thinking, oh, this person's trying to hurt me, this and that, and this hurt people.
Oh, absolutely.
And everything. So it really, have, and it makes, I've learned that the way I think now, the way I have thought, moving forward, I took brought some of that with me, and I shouldn't have.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
It's easy to do.
Right, and everything. So I'm still working on that part of me, and everything, because I'm so quick to be, I say, oh, nah, I'm good. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm scared of that. I'm scared of that. People think, oh, well, we ain't fighting this and that. Physical. No, verbal abuse is crazy, okay? Don't ever let nobody verbal abuse you.
Narcissistic behaviors, all of that. That's all mental.
Controlling all of that.
Mentally driven. All of that is very mentally driven. And I think that over a period of time, as you become accustomed to it, you feel like it's okay.
Right.
And you feel like that's the way things should be. I mean, just because that's what you've allowed to be given to you for so long. So you feel like that's okay, and it's not okay. Not.
So what I've learned in my experiences is that, this day and age now, I know when to let go. Because unfortunately, being a lesbian,
right?
Women are both emotional creatures, right?
Extremely
emotional. So with that being said, there could be a lot of emotional stress tied into that. So you just have to understand when to let go, because
when it's no longer healthy.
Yeah, when it's no longer healthy for you or that person.
Right.
But that person may not see that, or if you're on that other end, you may not see that. You may think you need this person. Really, that when that person just needs to go through their process, and it's okay to go through things when you are seeking help. Sometimes you have to disconnect from relationships, entanglements, or what have you, and go through that. There was a point in time in my life when I was in my 20s. I was actually 23, and if you know me, you know what I was going through. You know what I was going through. I didn't know anything about seeking to talk to anyone. What kept me going was the the strong ambition that I grew up around. My grandmother, my mother, my sisters, you know, all my role models, you know, my brothers, cousins, you know, that all I knew was to keep putting one foot in front of the other, you know, especially after I had my daughter. But I was going through things, you know, detrimental things that was detrimental to my mental health at the time, but I didn't know until this day and age. So I had to go all the way back and dig real deep, really, really deep, to make sure that I was making conscious decisions, you know, about my current life.
You were doing shadow work on yourself.
Yes, and it's okay to do to reevaluate, to look in the mirror, to check yourself, to step back from situations, step back from people, and deal with yourself.
Yeah.
I dealt with myself for years alone, so it kind of gave me that experience now. So I know when to pull back. But like I said, women are emotional creatures, and unfortunately, some situations I end up being friends. You know, we become friends. Two women, we become friends. So a lot of people, if you see somebody with somebody, they think, oh, because you used to talk to them, you still mess with them, or whatever the case may be. But we become friends. It's not lesbian relationships are always not the same as heterosexual relationships. Like if you with a guy, y'all break up, that's it. You know, it's very different. Women are we connect with each other, you know. And once you have that bond and connection, it is hard to let go. And that can cause a lot of more different type of emotional stress. But me being who I am now, I will allow someone to fix themselves. You know, I will step all the way back and take the back seat. It may not feel good to that person at the time,
Right?
But I know in my heart I'm doing the best thing for that person.
And you also know what you're capable of sustaining for yourself.
Exactly.
Because at the end of the day, you have to make sure that self is protected before you allow other people to infiltrate that and cause you more mental, emotional stress. So if you need for yourself to be like, hey, this is not working for me on a mental capacity. At this point, I think it's best for you and I, because I'm not good for you at this point.
Right.
And you're not good for me.
Exactly.
I think it's best for you and I to go our separate ways or what have you. Then, I mean, this is what it is. That should be respected.
Because one thing I don't want to do is go back to my 20s. I don't want to go back to that state of mind. You know, I can look at that now. I can see that now. I can see who I was. It wasn't good.
Right.
It was a very dark place. You know, by the grace of God, I made it through. You know, so that's why I'm able to sit here today. If I wouldn't have had those experiences, I wouldn't be sitting here today to help everybody else, you know, to understand that it's okay not to be okay. And it's okay to reach out to someone and get the help you need. And it's okay to walk away from situations when you feel that past coming back of you about to go through this all over again. It's okay, because self first, you know, self-love first, self-care first. And when you do that, you're actually teaching that other person self-love and self-care.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Even if they don't want to see it.
And sometimes it takes a person that you can be drawn to, in love with, or whatever it takes for them to actually leave you, for you to learn how to do self, you know, to love yourself. You get what I'm saying? Because, you know, you're thinking, oh, you're gonna leave me, but you keep trying to hold on and fight and fight. I'm one of them. You know what I'm saying? And everything. And then when it gets to the point like, okay, I can't fight no more. You know what I'm saying, or whatever. And you can't fight no more. You can say that, because sometimes you mentally check out, you know what I'm saying, way before you physically check out. And so it gets to the point where, you know, when
I just try to be that person's
friend, you know, and everything, and it's hard. You pretend. I pretended for a long time to be one of my ex's friends, and when we get out that phone, I be, you know, crying, you know. But when we get on the phone, I'm like, hey, what's up? You know what I'm saying? They wouldn't even know,
right?
You know what I'm saying, or whatever. But then I used to always be, you know, don't nobody want to go through hurt, but sometimes you gotta grow through it to go through it.
Sometimes hurt is necessary.
Right. You know what I'm saying? To make you stronger, to make you a better person, to help you, you know, that's when you start learning self-love. And that's when I started, you know what I'm saying, and everything. And it's crazy because when I used to go through a lot of stuff, I always had my grandmother to call, you know, because she's very, you know, she was an ordained minister, baby. She gave me right on the devil. And I used to call her every time, and she was always giving me, you know, advice. My mom, she gave me advice, but she was one of them, fuck them. And then she one of them that, you know, she started, and I get it, because, you know, things that I go through, this her daughter, I'm her daughter, her only daughter, you know what I'm saying, and it pisses her off. So she's kind of started being negative or, saying, well, they probably be doing this, and it's not something that you want to hear. You know what I mean? I'm like, oh,
But it's
God.
necessary.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Definitely
but my
necessary.
grandmother on the other end, she ain't finna sit here like, oh, they probably cheat on you, but she's just gonna be spiritual about it. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like,
yeah, you
I
don't
don't want to hear that negative stuff. You put the other stuff in my head. You know what I'm saying? Right. You know, and everything. So, but I'm not gonna lie. When it came to me being a lesbian and everything like that, and I went through some stuff and whatever, and I, because like I said, I always cry to my granny and tell, what I'm saying, she gave me good advice. But when it came to me being with, my ex or whatever, and we went through some stuff, I called her crying, and she was honest. She was like, well, baby, I just can't bless that. I love you. I don't judge you, but I can't bless what's going on with that situation. And I was like,
did that
fuck you, big punk. No, just let
So did that ever bother you?
Did that bother your mental? It
did kind of bother me because there was a one person, right? Yes, that bothered me. And I was in the car in the parking lot, and I got off the phone and I cried even harder because there was a one person that I talked to about everything. You know what I'm saying? Whatever. So yeah, it did. But I got past it, and then I've grown from that, and was like, you always get to the point of motherfuckers, I think. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. But yeah, I mean, there's still message with your brain, you know what I'm saying? Whatever, everything that you go through, regardless of this friendship, relationship, family, and everything. Because family and our family ain't good either,
So, have you guys known anyone personally? I know I said friends earlier, but have you known anyone personally that maybe committed suicide?
I don't just know my family that was on.
Well, I've known someone that commit suicide. That I've known a few people that's actually shut all the way down and nervous breakdown or turn to drugs. I know a few people that's took that route so they wouldn't have to think about it and get the necessary help they need. A couple of those people I still make sure I keep in contact with. Yeah. Even if it's just messing with them, messing with them about a football game. There's angles to go in without making a person feel some kind of way,
being overbearing.
Yeah, because that's another thing that people are afraid of, because that can happen too. Like if you do let somebody know what's going on, because sometimes people got to understand, like the text messages and the phone calls, and it's overbearing sometimes if you just want to take a mental break. And it's okay to step back and take a mental break. It's okay not to answer your phone. It's okay to just watch TV or exercise or find something extracurricular, instead of like, for example, when Facebook shut down the other day, I wasn't even really phased because I'm such a couch potato. I was working anyway. I walk, I ride my bike, I walk my dog. I do things that people will say, you don't do nothing. That's something to me.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's something to me. It's refreshing, and it's drama free, and it's non-judgmental.
Yaski said,
hey Yaski.
Hey.
That's another thing. Like the judge,
hey, baby,
like how we judge each other. Like when I got pregnant, I was called a dick dyke. I had no idea what that was. Like I was confused because to me, the LGBTQ community was crazy, because how you gonna say something wrong with a woman getting pregnant?
Yeah,
that's
what you're supposed to.
Yeah,
our job is to reproduce.
Right. So ain't nothing wrong with me. Something wrong with you, motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying? Just me. Yeah, okay. Bring it on down. But yeah, so that happens as well. We talk about we talk about LGBT, and I think we judge each other just as much as we feel like heterosexual people do.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And
we judge each other the hardest.
Yeah.
And then the thing about that is you also have people saying, oh, I don't, dominant people, studs, whatever you want to call them. Oh, I don't mess with me and such.
She brought it up.
No, I'm saying because the reason why I'm saying it is because I feel like they're scared, because again, we judge, not me per se, but
the lifestyle.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. So if they get pregnant,
just be you.
Yeah, just be you. It don't matter.
Just be you.
Talking about too.
If you bisexual, be you.
And don't be lying and saying that you're not bisexual.
If you gay, be you.
Okay. So anyway, back to the mental health.
Yeah,
I can't with this.
Because that could stem into different type of stresses too.
Yeah,
because,
like Miss Elliott say, gossip folks. They
yeah,
always
a
try to have
lot of
something to
people,
talk about.
are afraid to be them.
True.
I've never
And
been
that is
afraid to be
sad.
me.
Me neither.
Yeah, but I've always been talked about for being me, but I don't care because I'm me. You know, I have a handsome grandson and a beautiful daughter.
Shout out to Taylor.
I have no
Right. Tay.
and Duda. I have no
Okay, shout out to Doodle.
I have no complaints about my past, you know, because I went through it to get to it, you know. However it was meant to happen, it was meant to happen. So, but don't be afraid to be you. I know a lot of studs, and another thing, I'm not a stud. I never have labeled myself as a stud.
Check and see if messages are coming through like you did the last time.
I've always been respectful. I've always carried myself a certain type of way. You know, I've always been a tomboy, but I never thought I was a man because I'm not. So that's one thing. I'm true to myself, and I always have been. I always will be. But I was talked about, and a lot of people that talked about that, they were doing the same things that I was doing. And I don't think anything is wrong with that. I think they were afraid of what society would think.
Absolutely.
Because they weren't boy clothes, but was still attracted, sexually attracted, or intimate with men. I don't see nothing was wrong with it.
I have a whole auntie, honey. Let me tell you, you would think she's a whole stud out here, but she's a whole straight woman, and her man, you know, she's married, and they just be dressed alike.
Don't judge the book by the book by its cover.
Oh, look at that stuff right there. No, she's not a butch.
Keisha Witherspoon. Most times
come before the final decision.
Absolutely.
Most times comes before the final decision.
Yeah, absolutely.
Meaning,
I think she's speaking in terms of your decision making process,
or a situation that come before. Like
that's what I'm gathering.
Yeah, because you can get into things. You can get into the middle of what somebody has going on, and that could cause other things, you know. But you develop this.
Let's talk about it, Keisha. Let's tap in on that. See what exactly what you were. Where you were
what exactly?
I don't know if y'all heard this story. I was following the story of a lesbian couple. I can't say I was following the story, but a couple years ago, there was this lesbian couple, and I didn't actually hear about it until the dominant party killed herself because the girlfriend ended up passing away, just like out the blue. She just passed away. I don't know what her health conditions were prior to, but this young lady, and it hurts my heart so much because even after I went and I just looked at her videos, this young lady, you could tell that she was dying inside from losing her partner. She was dying inside. She was crying out for help. She was crying out for help she made videos all week long, crying out for help, speaking to her girlfriend in spiritual realm, telling her she's coming, save room for her,
something like that.
Like all of these things. And it's so crazy because in the midst of all of that she was going through, people were just reaching out to her on social network. And like you said earlier, sometimes that's your platform. You know, sometimes your family members don't know how to give you the responses that you deem necessary, especially
for you. If you're a lesbian.
Right. So sometimes your family is not enough. So you reach out, and she reached out for over a week. And nobody came to help her, and that lady jumped off of the bridge and killed herself.
Oh my God.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. Like it's so weird to me how you can cry out for help, and you can need these things from the public. And I mean, like even in the realm of her being on social media constantly. Suicide. Right. You're right, Keisha. Even in the means of you being, even in the midst of her being on social media constantly, nobody. I mean, it was like, just pray about it. God got you. All this other thing.
Yeah, they say those things.
But the moments when you were at your apartment, I never seen anybody go to her and knock on her door. You know what I'm saying? Because she did it for several days. Right. You know, she like several days.
Sound familiar. Like
nobody went.
Yeah, they just on Facebook or social media.
Yeah, right.
Sometimes you need that person. You need to be there.
Like where are the people
that
care about
It's
you?
just
that
like
love
when
you?
people that you go to the club with and all
That's
that.
just like that, when when something had happened and I had just like wasn't answering the phone, remember? And her and this one particular person, I'm not gonna say her name, they was on the phone, and because I wasn't answering, so Eric was like, when I get off, I'm coming over there. The girl ended up coming over there.
I was like, you need to go now.
Right.
And I was sitting in the car. And I kind of seen her car pulling up or whatever, because I wasn't talking to nobody. Like, I went through something real quick, with some stuff that happened, I told you about. Right. So, you know what I'm saying, when I first found out or whatever. So it scared me. I was scared as hell, because I'm sitting here like, all I see is things happening with me. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like, I panicked. That's what it was. Mm-hmm. And so, Erica was gonna come, but then somebody else ended up coming. She told her to come, whatever, and I was sitting in the car. So she came, and I got out the car. She could tell I was crying. I had been crying like boo-hoo crazy, like my eyes was all puffy, whatever. And then Erica got out the car. She knew I was okay. She was like, okay, because I just went like cold turkey. There was something that I just really had to deal with.
And then you never know, like, when that moment is going to be too much of a moment for that person. Yeah. So it's like,
oh my God,
like, damn, is this the moment that's going to be too much, or is she? And that's why I try to explain to Nicole. When she goes into her spaces of silence, and it scares me, because I don't know what her mind capacity is at that moment. Yeah. So I'm like, like, what's going on? Like, is she okay? If I go over here, she gonna open the door. Like, it just be all over the place for me. You know what I'm saying? So
she just probably gotta get the keys to my place.
That's probably gonna be the next.
No, it's one of those chicks.
That's gonna be the
wrap.
But yeah, so it's just like, you never know when that moment is that person's last moment to deal with whatever it is that they're dealing with.
I was speaking on suicide. I had one client that committed suicide. I didn't realize, because she was finally saying she was happy, but that was a classic sign of making the final decision of suicide. Suicide usually looks like a patient being happy all of a sudden. Classic sign. Everyone needs to everyone need at least one person that they can vent to and release.
Absolutely, yeah. You got to have an outlet. Because when you hold that shit in, it'll compile till there's nothing else left to build. Yeah. So when you get to the point where there's nothing else left to build, then what do you do?
And then with my thing, I've been like that, like, for years, and now that I'm still like that.
Yeah, she can say being off from the help her out.
Sure. And I know I gotta work on it, because she do one time when that happened, we was on the phone, and I didn't even say nothing back. She said what she said, and I was like, okay. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm always trying to rebuttal, but it's good to have. It's good to have. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? That's why I ain't arguing with what she was saying. Yeah. And she was like, "You see, so she was saying what she had to say." And normally, I always be like, "Well, now it's just how I am." So I just was like, "Okay." Yeah. And you're right. What Yasky said.
And Keisha.
Yeah, Keisha said. You know what I'm saying?
They
thought that person was happy. You see me. Y'all see me out in the battle, whatever. What I'm doing, I'm acting goofy. I'm dancing. I'm doing all that, but nobody, knows what really is just going on.
With silence.
That's why I tell people I'm a badass MUA, honey. Mentally, I can put on some mental makeup real quick, and when I go out that door, I'm like, ha ha ha. Sometimes when I'm back in the house, it's like, I wipe it off, and I'm back to square one. But that's why I started doing my self-love affirmations and and everything like that. And sometimes I will call my sister, or call somebody, whatever. And I don't even call her to tell her, okay, I'm going through something. Sometimes I'll be like, bitch, what you doing? You know what I'm saying, or whatever. And you know what I'm saying,
you just need to know that you connected with someone who cares about you.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. And so we'll be talking about, like, girl, let me tell you, you know what I'm saying. And sometimes I think, and I shouldn't do that. My sister used to tell me all the time, in May or June, you know what I'm saying. She feel like the way I was healing, I was suppressing, and I was suppressing my feelings. I was not healing properly. I know I wasn't, and everything. But at the end of the day, because of what I went through when I was hurt before, like, you know what I'm saying, I didn't want to be in that funk. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm real quick to, like I say, isolate myself. Don't talk to nobody. Dealing with mental issues, because it had me thinking about a lot of bad things. I was in the dark. And so that's why I just like, oh, bitch, what we finna do? I was like, on the go, like I'm on coffee or something. You know what I'm saying? I need to do something. I need to keep my mind occupied.
I didn't want to think about it.
I did. You know what I'm saying? I did, because every night whatever, I'll be like, just get off the phone. I'm back, balled up. So yes, I handle it different. I'm proud of myself because you just never know how much strength you have.
Exactly.
A person never know how strong they have, how strong they are until they actually go through some things.
There's nothing else left but to be strong.
Yeah, but sometimes, like I try to tell people, sometimes it's okay not to be strong. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you just gotta
scream to the top of your fucking lungs, have a whole bawling session, just cry your fucking eyes out. I mean, it be days when I just want to, and I don't think it's from a mental health concept. I just think it's from me for taking on so much energy. Yeah. I take on a lot of energy from a lot of different sources, and I think that some days it just becomes overwhelming in that aspect, and I just have to go. Just holler.
Well, when I was going through my thing, I decided this last go around, what I decided to do was, okay, this is what happened. This is the problem now. Okay. Analyze the situation. Give myself a deadline to cry about it. You know what I'm saying? Do what I need to do to give myself a deadline. After I gave myself a deadline, the next step was to release it.
Yeah.
I didn't do that. My past relationships, well, especially the last one, I cried for almost 3 months straight. You know what I'm saying? Nobody knew. You know what I'm saying? I was a poor mess. So when I went through that, I'm like, hell no, I'm not gonna do that again. You know what I'm saying? And each they say each tear make you stronger or whatever, but it's like when I went through this past situation here recently, I'm like, no, you definitely ain't just you know what I'm saying? And then the friends that I had then wasn't as active as the friends that I have now. Do that make sense? Oh, she's not calling me, so I'm not gonna call her. Huh? Friends that I have now, okay, / other sister, okay. Anyway, she always be trying to check me on shit. So my whole thing is, they'll call me ever so often. You good? Oh yeah, I'm good. So. Now a person that's really know when you're good when you're not.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I've had, shout out to Laterica. That bitch used to always be crying on the phone, girl. She would be crying on the phone. I'm telling you, it was like we both cried on the phone. I've had, my sister, you know what I'm saying, or whatever. She be hardcore. But she, she said what she gotta say. And what I love about her, she keep everything raw, uncut, unfiltered. You know what I'm saying? I need to hear things that I need to hear, not what I want to hear.
You don't need to.
You know what I'm saying? Woman. Right, exactly. So, but yeah, with this last situation, I took about to myself that this is how I'm gonna handle this situation. You know what I'm saying? It's still people came to me yesterday. I didn't know you were single. Nobody, it's still a lot of people that didn't know. Only the media people knew. You know what I'm saying? Because for one, I don't put my stuff out there. I don't do that because it's none of y'all business. You know what I'm saying? And then sometimes when people know what you're going through or whatever the case may be, they go to negativity stuff. Like I don't need that. I need to continue to surround myself with positive people. Right. And everything. Someone, tried to, come for me with that, but like sis says, it's about mental things or whatever. I'm still about it. But yeah. So with that being said, when I go through, matter of fact, this is why I said earlier, people need to, like when you're going through stuff, always don't be scared to reach out on Facebook or whatever, because you never know who is watching. So I got a text today, and it's crazy because I haven't talked to this person, like we don't even talk like on a daily, but she was like, hey, love, this, such. I want to send you all the love and hugs that I have left over. Take a break. We will be here when you return. Be kind to yourself. Love you. And when she sent that, I was like, I messaged her back. I was like, did somebody tell you what's going on with me? You know what I'm saying? I'll tell you. Or whatever. And she was like, well, I actually don't know what's going on with you. I just felt it. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes, like I said, you just never know who will reach out to you. That right there made my day. You know what I'm saying? Because I probably was in that moment. Sometimes a person will be in a moment to where they're feeling down, and then bam, the universe, God send them, like, just say something positive. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So it's always good to, don't worry about those people that's going to be negative. Don't even let that consume you. Look at the positive people that's, coming at you, coming in your inbox. Are you okay? Now, I know sometimes you'll be like, oh, this person asking I'm okay. Is this genuine, or are they trying to find out something? Follow your intuition on that. You know what I'm saying? Because let me tell you something. You'll know who is really like about the shit with the shits and who's not with the shit. Because I scan people pages, honey. Let me see. Oh, they got drama on their page. Oh, this bitch just coming through my inbox because she want to know something. Versus, somebody always being positive and you know what I'm saying, whatever. Sometimes you got to watch those too, because I know a few fake spiritual people.
Fake
You know?
ass motherfucker.
Right.
Yeah.
Fake caring people.
Most
Yeah.
mental health issues come from being overwhelmed, exactly, such as placing too much on your plate. Be intentional on being cognizant of how much you agree to. Exactly.
That makes sense.
Exactly. That, like I was saying earlier, like, you know, sometimes I just get overwhelmed because it's like I always try to be a positive influencer amongst my friends and my family members. And, you know, I never let anybody see me sweat. I have my sweaty moments when I'm by myself. You know, I don't, that's why she calls me hardcore, because I tend to allow myself time for myself to breathe and let my frustrations and angry moments or whatever the case they may be, I just let them out when I'm alone by myself. Because I mean, I feel comfortable doing that any other way. But yeah, so a lot of times I'm so busy trying to look out for everybody else that I don't take time to just make sure that I'm okay. And then that's when I say, step back, Erica. Don't have your moment, girl. Don't cry. Shit. Use up a roll of toilet tissue or a box of motherfucking Kleenex. Do your shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
and I have those
on your
moments.
eyelashes and stuff. You know.
Yeah, we have those moments.
Yeah,
those moments.
And it's okay to have those moments. Really, honestly, you have to have those.
Yeah,
moments,
you have to.
You can't keep everything bottled in. Period. Dr. Watson. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is put these glasses on.
Yeah, because we can't see.
It's definitely okay to be weak sometimes and be able to tell someone that you're going through. Just releasing your troubles can have a huge impact. It sure can. Positive impact. Yeah.
Because the first step to getting over something is admitting it and realizing that you're dealing with an issue.
Yeah.
You need to take time.
So and I had a problem with that. I wouldn't talk about it. I used to always hold stuff in because I was afraid of, not so much afraid, but the way I was, you know, if I didn't hold stuff in and then it come back and bite me in my ass because I'm ready to fight. So it's just a problem. I'm gonna keep it to myself, you know. And I thought that was a good thing, but it really wasn't. You know what I'm saying? So I had to learn. Okay, you know what? Let me start talking about it. But I don't. Go ahead.
My issues by myself. I don't feel I have room to be weak. No one close to me has ever seen that. I take it to God.
You're right.
That's a great way, y'all to meditate like that.
Meditation is one of the
wonderful
top ways to release
and find something positive. Surround yourself with positive people. Find something positive to do or something refreshing. Because I've been working from home for about going on 4 years, and sometimes, you know, I just take me a break.
Give me your job information.
And I just go take a 15-minute walk or something, you know.
Walking is good.
I don't care about it not being break time. You know, I'm just saying or whatever. I'm just gonna be honest because
you know what?
Know your rights. That's another thing with these jobs.
Oh my God.
Know your rights and know when to step back. You know, look into these hotlines and these different type of benefits that would allow you to take some time back.
It's crazy that you said that because this what motivated me to say, okay, you know what, I'm going to start my own thing because I'm tired of working for the people. Because when I was going through that little thing that I was going through some months ago, I spoke with my manager, you know, and I was like, hey, do we have mental health days? You know what I'm saying? Because I really see, I needed that at that time. And my cousin had just passed and everything. So he was like, oh, you can use PTO. I don't want to use PTO. That's for my vacation. You know what I'm saying, or whatever. And then it's like, okay, well, if you don't use PTO, you just, you know what I'm saying, that could either be, you know, you're going to get in trouble, get rolled up, you know what I'm saying, because you're taking it. And I just really don't think that's fair. You know what I'm saying? Even if you do the EAP program or whatever, you still have to go to work. Like, it's just crazy. So, yeah, that's why I started doing my own thing because I'm saying, I'm not.
I know.
You know what I'm saying? For you don't have to deal with, you know, your manager in your ear, you know, and all that. You know what I'm saying? Oh, okay, well, let's do this. Let's give her a raise. You can make $1 million a motherfucking year. At the end of the day, people still need what? Their mental health time.
Yeah.
Period.
Mental space.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So this what really motivated me to start focusing on doing this podcast, trying to do my business, Erica doing her thing. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm tired of being tied down for 9 hours, basically eating lunch because you got to go back. You know what I'm saying? And being told what to do. And guess what? The owner of the company just at home. We're slaves, basically, because he at home doing what he do. He can go out of town. Oh, let me make sure I got enough PTO to go out of town.
Or it's take a mental health break.
Right.
But then, you know, some jobs are
Caring.
Or some jobs are caring, or some jobs have those benefits you can exhaust.
Yeah.
So you can take those breaks. And some people, like, there's entrepreneurs, there's people but I'm so happy that we are utilizing platforms. The pandemic taught us a lot. It wasn't just
Absolutely.
It wasn't just a negative impact.
It wasn't.
It brought everybody to the same level. Athletes, everybody. I don't care how much money you had, there wasn't no tissue nowhere. So you know what I'm saying? So everybody,
your booty was still dirty.
So we were allowed to find out who we really are.
Oh yeah,
you
had a lot of time to self-reflect.
Yeah, a lot of time to find out who you are and invest in yourself.
And if you're in a relationship, you find out who your mate is too.
Yeah, and then some people were still working 9 to 5 and investing on the side.
Back to mental health.
No, I'm saying you find out who your mate is because that's when everything that they deal with.
The pandemic caused a lot of mental.
The pandemic caused
a lot of
mental
stress. It did.
It did because first of all, none of us knew what the hell was going on.
Child, I thought the world was in. I called my deacon friend. I was like, is this it? He said,
the book of Revelations, okay?
I said, is this it? He's talking about, we just wait on Gabriel to blow his horn. I said,
Another thing though, not to get caught up in is it's a lot of back and forth. Don't let these people, especially the celebrities. I'm gonna say especially these celebrities, because they tend to think just because they say it is true. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And do what you feel is best for you. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Because they don't give a damn about you. I'm just gonna be honest. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So do what you think is best for you mentally. Because half of them struggling too. More than half of them, they're struggling up here too. They mask things as well.
Mm-hmm.
Some of them have came out during the pandemic. A couple of celebrities committed suicide. The lady that was writing for the Netflix, the young black lady, she I forgot her name, but she had a show on Netflix that she produced. But she committed suicide. She was dealing with anxiety, and during the pandemic, she couldn't live with herself anymore. She felt trapped. A lot of people felt trapped.
Keisha said mental health days are better than physical health days. Yeah, of course they are.
It is.
Because if your mental is broken, your physical
can't do nothing physically.
The thing is, the mind controls the body. So if the mind is not well, then the body will fail.
Not well.
The brain is an organ just like the heart, liver, lungs, and kidney. Come on,
absolutely,
yeah,
absolutely. So
that's absolutely true.
That's the key component.
So don't get caught up in the crossfires of because I know people who get freaking stressed out over shit that ain't got nothing to do with them.
Things beyond your control. That's my motto. Not to stress out over things that are beyond your control. And me and Baby Bop was talking about this the other day, how she's deemed to be nonchalant or be not to care because she's just like, hey, I can't worry about shit that I can't do nothing about. Right. So why am I worried about it? That's something else for me.
Try not to allow things to consume you.
Exactly.
It's already happened. It's done.
And I've been guilty of that before. Yeah, I have been guilty of
at some point or another. Yes, you have.
Of getting attached to social media. But I think during that pandemic, it got so overwhelming. You was like, wait a minute now.
Wow.
Like this
just felt like negativity was just busting in your face every time you open the bitch up.
So why am I gonna be stressed out over all that? So that plays a factor in mental health as well. Yeah. Social media does. Use it for the right reasons, Yeah. Just try to be positive and I'm not positive when it comes to the Cowboys, but those my only arguments on social media. But just other than that, use it to be positive. Try to snooze people. There's a snooze button up there, or unfollow them, or delete them. You have every right to control your mental space.
Hell yeah.
Like seriously, I was going through that.
I deleted quite a few people that's always like being nigga. Like,
the best thing they could have did was put those 3 little bars up there. When you see somebody post, you hit those 3.
You unfollow.
Hit those 3 dots. And do whatever you want.
Turn off the notification.
I will see them in my news.
You can delete them. You can unfollow them. You can do whatever you want. Just know that you control you. And stop letting the illusions control you, because that's all it is on social media. So there's a lot of illusions. So stop letting it consume you. I'm not gonna say control you. Stop letting it consume you.
Stop letting anything in life consume you.
Yeah,
especially when it's negative.
If it doesn't,
anything,
if it doesn't add to your mental and give you a
in a good
positive vibe, just let the
stop
shit
letting it
go.
consume you. Like
Let it go,
seriously.
because at the end of the day, you got to look out for you. You got to make sure you're sane and your mental is protected.
And it's okay for people to think you acting funny. That's absolutely okay.
Because you know what, your real friends,
they're not gonna think you acting
so
funny.
if anybody come at you, oh, you acting funny, you know what?
Yeah.
I don't even need to be talking to you. If you know me by now.
Yeah.
You will.
I'm talking about some people seriously. Some people seriously take it personal. I'm talking about the ones that really take it personal.
Oh yeah.
You know, don't take it personal. People have to.
I mean, but like I was telling Nicole, elevation requires separation sometimes.
Yes,
so
definitely.
I mean, if you're looking to grow within self and be more self-positive, self-uplifting, you know, make sure that your mental health is up to par with you. I mean, and there are negative entities that are just weighing around you like weeds. Get rid of it. Get rid of them. Get rid of it. Get rid of them.
Chop it.
If you're tied to individuals that drain your mental,
Lord.
tied to individuals that bring you down, tied to individuals every time you talk to them, they're not having a good day. Something's always wrong.
Oh yeah, especially that you don't want to
Get rid of it.
you don't want to have no friend every time you talk to them they're being negative. They're like, you know, I ain't calling her anymore, but you know, and it gets like that. Like,
Yeah,
and then
that
you
weighs
even
on
be
your
trying to
mental
be,
too.
and then you know, sometimes you have friends that, you know, I had a friend, you know, went on social media, it was negative, and I didn't respond. I was like, take that down. I just, you know what I'm saying? Because you know, I don't want to see that. Take that down, and whatever you're going through, you know, say what was going on. Okay, well, don't let that person consume you. That's a human.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Move forward, think positive.
Yeah, humans should not have that much power over your
At
life, your day.
At all. I don't care who they are. Your mama, if your mama negative, don't even let her have power over you. I'm just saying, you have to, again,
control your mindset.
That.
You have to.
You know what I'm saying?
If you don't, it'll control you, and other people's negativity will come in there and just control everything. So
yeah,
keep your peace. Protect your peace at all times.
Because when you go to sleep at night, guess what?
PYP,
that negative person doing what they do, honey. You know what I'm saying? So you just keep doing. You know what? As I say, I will send some positive affirmations in a minute. Okay, girl, let me see you this, and you gotta do it, because you know you sit here all day being negative. Eventually, you want a friend in me, you're not gonna have a friend in me. I will walk away, especially if you continue to, you know, because if I'm trying to always stay positive, I don't need that energy, because energy somehow tend to come to me.
Gravitate.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? And if it's negative, I don't want to be in that funk with you, you know, and everything. So yeah, that's why my people, you know, that I fool with, when we out and about, we have a funky good time. I'm goofy as hell, so I like to laugh. It's just always fun. It ain't no
good shit. It's right. Good shit.
You know what I'm saying? We be over there laughing, and people don't even know what the hell we laughing at. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes I don't even know what I'm laughing at. People don't want to hear it, but yeah, you know what I'm saying? We be having so much fun.
It's another story,
right?
But overall, you have to have those type of friends that want to keep your mental in a positive, you know,
space.
Yeah, don't you know, because you are who you attract. You know, so if you're negative, you're gonna attract negative entities.
You have to change your caliber of people.
Okay.
Hell yeah.
Like,
hell yeah.
Like I've learned that as well. Like we've all been somewhere in the past.
Oh, hell yeah.
We didn't start like this.
We started from the bottom, then we in the top. We here going there.
I mean, we was whole fools, just out here, just
careless,
just
reckless,
and not thinking. But it's always good to come back and give that knowledge, you know, once you grow up and learn. So
wisdom,
taking advantage of the you know, the opportunity to speak where everybody can see and listen and understand, because there's a lot of there's just a lot of young people. I'm not gonna even just say young lesbians. There's just a lot of young people that's going through so much, you know, like the situation that took place today. Like that young man was going through so much, and people guess what society did? They bashed him, because guess what? They listened to the media, because the media said there was an active shooter. There was not an active shooter. He was being bullied. I'm not saying it's okay to shoot somebody, but god damn, the boy was robbed. He was being bullied.
How many times did he cry?
How many times he cried?
Nobody listened. That was an authoritative position.
The mama was trying to
Right.
get help. They didn't help. So
Right.
he
I
took
mean,
matters in his own hands.
Yeah, he took. So my thing is, let's stand behind
You
him.
can't keep poking the bear.
Let's look at
Malcolm X that situation.
Yeah, let's look at both sides of it. You know. Yeah, let's look at both sides of that.
Right.
Don't judge that young
not
man.
going to have.
You don't know his story. I know his story because I'm really close with a cousin of his. So I know the story. I'm not gonna give you any details. But I know the story, you know, and it's sad that this young man was reaching out to teachers and his family tried to do everything to prevent situation like today.
And felt pushed into a corner.
Yeah, y'all saw the video.
Mm-hmm.
He was trying to protect us. He didn't want to fight. Anybody does not fight you back, they don't want to. What is that?
Right.
That's bullying.
Right.
That's simple. That's simply bullying. So prayers for
all
the
the
families
negative
involved.
out of it.
Unfortunately, there was some innocent bystanders, you know, sorry that had to happen, but at the same time, we got to start looking at both sides of the table.
And you got to sort of approaching the problem when the problem arises. You can't wait until after
these kids.
the problem brings about something detrimental. You have to acknowledge the problem, approach the problem, resolve the problem before it gets to the point of where a child feels like they have absolutely no way out.
Right.
He's a child.
Yeah, they don't think about when you were 18, 16, 17, whatever.
And men develop way less. Like their brain
they're afraid
develops.
to talk.
Yeah,
you know, that's
they,
a stigma too. You
very
know
much
that because a man will be labeled as soft,
right?
If he opens up or if he hug his homeboy, he got to be gay. You know what I'm saying? All that type of stuff.
Right,
you know,
right.
so that plays on the mental as well.
Exactly.
Like some men are afraid to open up. You know, all the way. You know, because they don't want to look weak.
They don't want to look soft.
Yeah, they don't want to look soft. You know, and then it's just unfortunate how things end because of something not being handled when it was brought to the attention
of the superiors that are supposed to handle it.
And they're supposed to handle it. So that I believe he was suffering mentally.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely, he was definitely.
So and to ignore something like that is just devastating and it's heartbreaking.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? I'm just thankful that the world we live in today. I'm just thankful that he was able to turn himself in without being shot down.
Exactly.
Because they definitely weren't gonna take him to Burger King like they took Dylan. You know.
Okay.
To be honest, that's just the truth.
9 folks.
That's the world we live in. So stop listening to the media. Stop listening to the media.
Get your mental health. Push the reset button if you have to and start over. This is our time, guys.
We've appreciated you guys, your feedback, and everything that you've given us today. It's always a blessing to interact with you guys and get some of your knowledge because it helps us to be more knowledgeable. We love you guys. We hope that everybody will subscribe to the channel and like today's episodes. If you haven't watched any of the other episodes, check them out. We try to put some different topics out there so you guys can get aware, become more aware of different things and how different people handle different things and all that good stuff. So thank you guys again for jumping out on a limb with us today. We appreciate y'all. Peace to you, Yaski.
Make sure y'all read the sign at the back. What does it say?
Right.
If you can dream it,
you can do it. It's good to use coping mechanisms if you can. However, most mental health disorders are genetics, and chemical imbalances along with negativity can cause worsening the mood.
Exactly.
Oh yeah, you better let them know.
Facts.
Y'all have a good night.
But we thank y'all again for showing up and showing out and sharing. Again, it's always appreciated.
Already. Thank you.
We keeping it lit, while talking that shit. You know we gon' pop it, giving them drip, exposing these tips. This is more than just guys cooking for a sip. We don't plead the fifth, we got plenty of topics. Grab some wine and come watch this. We gon' discuss all these options. Mindless behaviors, at the table with the shavers. going major. Grab a chair, even haters. Tag a friend, touch a neighbor. Share it and tell them we live. We giving them positive vibes. This is what happened when Pretty collide. So sit back while we spill the tea. Mindless behaviors with First Lady and E. So sit back while we spill the tea. Mindless behaviors with First Lady and E. Ow.
Girl, have a
Peace, y'all. Love y'all. Y'all have a good night. Oh yeah, like I always say, don't forget to tell somebody you love them tonight. Make somebody smile. Send a positive word. Send up a prayer. Whatever the case may be. Y'all make sure y'all do that. Do something good for somebody else. Because you never know when you're gonna need something good from somebody else.
5 seconds. Do something.
Period. Bye, y'all.
But we want to thank you.